What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo's The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 2 review. And remember, there will be blood. I mean, spoilers. There won't be any blood. Just spoilers. Sorry about that.
Hey, you know what? If you like what we do, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe.
And tell all your friends, and hit the bell to be notified of future content, and nobody gets hurt.
Today.
Episode 2, A Distant Echo.
Echo.
So, believing that Echo may still be alive, Rex has a new mission. He decides to take the Bad Batch, take Anakin, head off to...
Skako,
thank you.
Skako.
But, before they leave, Anakin needs to talk to Padme
Whoa.
Rex on guard.
He said he was fixing Rex's helmet. What?
And that's what they told Obi-Wan, too.
You're right.
It's so dishonest back in those days.
Well, that's leading them to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, one of the things that I think we all sort of noticed, Obi-Wan knew he was talking to Padme and still kind of let it go. And we all think that is probably because Obi-Wan's relationship with Satine, the former, Queen of Mandalore. He kind of maybe doesn't think that part of the Jedi code is that important.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a pass. It's not shady, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But
He says
I'm not a Jedi.
they said in other media, like, there are some Jedi that have basically found a loophole where they're saying, oh, well, you're allowed to have a relationship as long as it doesn't turn into love or turn into marriage or whatever.
Right. And it's kind of nice that all of the Jedi are oblivious to what's going on with Anakin. Because obviously we're getting closer to his turn to the dark side. And you're starting to see more. These guys even noticed while he's fighting later on in the episode, it's taking a more angry turn a lot, maybe Sith-esque in the fighting. But we'll kind of get to that later.
Like a diet Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sugar-free Sith.
It's building intensity as it goes.
Right.
And it's well done. They're doing a good job with it. They end up, as they're walking out, Obi-Wan is trying to explain that the council didn't give him authorization, but hey, they're leaving anyway. Total Bad Batch style.
Oh, yeah. They didn't crash their ship when they landed this time, though.
But it was a rough landing.
Yeah.
They're heading to this planet. It's going to be a rough landing. It's a very dust and dirt filled atmosphere, it appears, and a lot of interference. But they hear, stories about the locals worshiping flying dragons. And obviously the locals show up right as they get there. Mm-hmm. They take Anakin away because they can tell he's the leader.
You know what I noticed, though, is you mentioned that it was kind of a dusty, dirty planet. I didn't hear Anakin complain about the sand. I'm confused.
That's later. That's going to be in the next episode. When he gets back, he's going to be like, it was all sand. It was coarse. I hated it.
I hate him!
And Padme's going to, oh, that's words of love.
How could they send you to another sand-filled planet? But, they end up tracking to where they took Anakin, and Tech starts translating the locals. And honestly, all they want is to not have the war to come to their planet.
Right.
But they're willing to help. They're like, okay, we'll take you to the city. We'll guide you there, but that's it. And now, of course, I don't think they're done with the locals, but we'll get to that later on in the episode. Then Admiral Trench warns the facility that they're coming. Be on the lookout. They know of the algorithm and they're coming to get it. And we see the Bad Batch and Rex and them, and Tech loses the algorithm signal. And he thinks it's due to atmospheric interference with all this stuff going on.
They also mentioned that it might even be a trap, that it was purposely broadcast to lure them there. But Rex ends up basically saying, well, you know what? Any mission could be a trap. So, I mean, why would this be any different? We need to get in there. But Anakin kind of realizes what's going on.
Yeah, they kind of get testy back and forth. Rex is convinced his friend is alive. The Bad Batch aren't so convinced. They think they're getting led into a trap. It's probably happened to them many times.
Yeah.
They start fighting a little bit. I like the line where he kind of goes after Tech, and then Wrecker comes up and he goes, pick on someone slightly bigger than you.
Not your own size.
Yeah.
I do like how Rex didn't back down, though.
Yeah.
As he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then Anakin steps in. He's like, hey, let's not do this here. We don't need to do this, and kind of has a heart to heart with Rex, explaining you may have to accept that your friend is gone. And then they jump into the city. Well, they're kind of tech opens up these sort of lift gate, and they're heading up. It's a stealth mission.
Yep.
That as soon as the gate opens,
Stealth mission.
there's tons of clankers there, which interesting. Looked like the locals a little bit, like
Yeah, like they were redressed and
kind of blended a little bit better.
I don't even know.
Well, I think so because we know that the corporate company that's running this place is outside of the war, so they can't really have battle droids there. So they kind of make them look like the locals. So if you don't take too keen of an eye, it wouldn't look like anything is up.
And like we said when we were watching it, apparently the battle droids train the stormtroopers on how to shoot because they can't hit anything. I mean, they're right in front of them, and they're just like moving around like it's nothing.
So they have a quick battle. They take care of all of these droids, and then Tech loses the signal again, and they're like, "Well, there's no atmospheric
Anomaly?
disturbance, I guess, or
Interference?
something." Yes,
Yeah.
interference. That was the word.
That's
Thank
the
you.
word, man.
And so they're wondering what's up. He starts thinking maybe when Echo isn't transmitting or thinking, they can't get the signal. So they split up, start checking a bunch of other rooms. And then, Anakin runs into some clankers. He's fighting them. Crosshair comes and saves them. There's a lot of, the Bad Batch working pretty well with everybody. And I kind of like how they have the Bad Batch. They each have their specialty, and they're really shown each doing their own thing. It's kind of a nice touch.
I like when they finally regrouped and they got back together. I did like when one of the droids is getting ready to shoot Rex, that Anakin basically told him to watch out, kind of knocked him out of the way. To me, whenever they show scenes like that, that just goes to show that Anakin sees them as more than clones. Like, he recognizes that they're people too with their own individuality.
Yeah, they're not disposable.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
actually people.
And I like it when they insert scenes like that.
How could such a good humanitarian go so wrong
Well,
with Anakin?
sand.
Sam.
He was tricked, by Darth Sidious. All of that stuff. He
And
let
I
him
mean,
know.
nobody really liked those younglings anyway, right?
We'll never know.
And then the tech gets the signal back. It's in this room, and the conglomerate people kind of show up and say the algorithm predicted your every move, and it's basically a trap. And then we see a massive battle scene.
I like how he finally admits that there is in fact an algorithm, but moments before he's like, "There's no algorithm. I don't know what you're talking about."
We're part of the Trade Federation,
Right, yeah.
And they end up, taking down all of the clankers out there. A really well done scene, as people are showing back up because they had all split up. They're taking people out. You see Anakin using his force powers, push a bunch away. They're working together really nicely. They end up taking them all out.
This is also when we start to see Anakin getting really aggressive with his lightsaber tactics.
He's definitely, as we said, Sith light,
Oh yeah,
Sith-esque. All the other Sith words.
Sith Zero.
His journey towards the dark side has begun.
And there's a lot going on. And in the movies, it's all about Padme dying and Darth Sidious using that as, a wedge to kind of bring him in. But I think the Clone Wars is also showing another angle, how much Anakin distrusts the Jedi Council because of how they treated Ahsoka.
I kind of got that also from when they were getting ready to leave, and he just kind of makes that comment before he even lets Obi-Wan tell him that the Jedi Council didn't approve it, because that was probably what he was going to say. And he's like, "Yep, I know they probably approved it. Okay, let's go."
and it's really a nice touch because, the whole Revenge of the Sith, just this one thing kind of turned him.
Well, it explains more that this was a slow transfer, basically a change that took time, and that's way better character development than what the movies gave us.
And it's like I gotta go refer to Smallville again. They say the journey to a dark side or evil is not a light switch. It's a journey. You make it gradually. And so we're seeing it gradually in the show.
Yeah. And you do see Darth Sidious's hand in Ahsoka getting kicked off the Jedi Council because of what happened, and his role with Padme and Darth Plagueis the Wise. So it really adds a lot more, character development to this, and it makes it a lot more believable, and a lot, actually, more sad, because actually this
Yeah.
guy playing Anakin Skywalker in the show does a much better job than Hayden
Oh.
Christensen,
Way better.
and it's more believable, and you see this turn, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really, I'm really looking forward to this season playing out and seeing more of that.
I made a comment to Keith earlier that you can. This is almost like a different Anakin altogether. This is you can tell this is somebody who is hardened a little bit by war. He's very calm and collected a lot of the time. He seems like an actual general and a Jedi master, or on his way to being a Jedi master. Like he
was not
exhibits a
given
lot
the
of these
rank of
traits.
Jedi Master.
True, he was not.
And
But-
then remember, in A New Hope, when he runs into Obi-Wan, he says, "Now I am the Master."
True.
Which,
True,
when I
yes.
first heard it, when I saw A New Hope in '77, it didn't ring true. But hearing him not get the rank of Jedi Master in Revenge of the Sith, and what he says to Obi-Wan when he sees him again, I thought,
I feel like that. There's no way that was planned.
no, I don't think it was when he wrote. I don't think it was planned when he wrote A New Hope. But they added that into Revenge of the Sith to kind of, go with what happens in A New Hope, and I thought that was cool. Then they get in a room, and they find Echo in a stasis chamber, just looking hooked up to he looks kind of like a Borg.
So I'm gonna be honest. Like I did not think he would still be alive. I figured he would just be like a
when
brain
he came
in a
out of
tube
there,
or
he was
something.
all gray. I thought, they were just using his brain waves.
Well, yeah,
and the
because
rest of
they
them's all
kept
dead.
referring to him as the algorithm. They and they almost made it sound like he was detached from his body.
I thought he would be zombified.
Yeah.
And we see them pull him out, and he's talking about the Citadel where they all thought he died, and getting to the shuttle, and the episode ends.
Yeah. Kind of just ended really quick. Like
Yeah.
like he's calming them down. Like it's gonna be okay, buddy. Everything is fine. We're safe now. Totally safe on this planet.
Well, one show, one mission. They accomplished the mission
Well,
in the show.
And I think too, the next episode obviously will be them getting out of there, which might not be the easiest.
Put
But
him
then-
through therapy for sure.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have to work with the locals to escape. And once again, they always say we don't mean to bring war to your planet, but they always do. And the locals are going to have to get involved, and that'll bring them in. Once they find out, this company has been working with the separatists to help defeat them, it almost brings them in, and now war is to this planet. They've done that. Nobody wants war, but it's almost inevitable. It constantly gets being brought to peaceful planets, and we see it happening here too. But once again, this was a good episode.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't great. I'm really looking forward to kind of the next threads or arcs in this season, but still well done.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
hey, you know what? Leave us in the comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen with Rex. Is he programmed in some way? Do you think, or let us know your theories about what's going to happen with him.
And do you think by the end of the show, Rex ends up on that planet that they found him on in Rebels?
I do. At least, well, it depends. He probably goes to that planet after Order 66. So if we're right in our assessment that this show is going to show what happens during Revenge of the Sith with characters that weren't in the movie,
Right.
we may see that. We may see him leaving to go. I don't remember the planet on Rebels. I just
I don't
remember
either.
when they found him.
That's
but-
why I didn't mention it. I know it had a lot of sand, though.
That's why
course.
Anakin stays alive. But that's all we got. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you soon.